Hello everyone, today I want to show you how you can replace the hard hours of cold calling and calling to absolute strangers with just 3 simple workflows in n8n. Simple automations anybody can build. So we'll be basically building an AI voice agent that will be an outbound caller that can help you with any type of calling you need. So let's get straight into it. First, I want to give you a quick overview, and this is my robot. So we'll have 3 steps. This whole system will be built on top of 3 steps. The first one will be to extract the actual leads and the numbers, the information that you need to extract. Now we will be doing this with Firecrawl, but you can do it with any type of data scraping tool that you want. But Firecrawl is for me the best one out there. You can connect it to n8n. I have done a huge video about it where I go in depth on how Firecrawl works, why I think it is the best, and I will leave it somewhere up there. So go check it out, because in this video I will just wash through it. So Firecrawl is the first thing right here. We will be getting realtors' names, their phone numbers, and their date of last listing. In this exact example I will be showing you. Then the second step, or the second workflow, is actually starting the call and triggering the call. So basically the call is the second step, probably the most important one. Okay, then once we have the call, we have to get some sort of data from that call, or maybe you want to book an appointment, send over some emails. So we will be storing data from this call. Store info. We don't have to say data. Storing info. Alright. Now I will show you how you can set all of these workflows and combine them together. And I will actually leave a template down in my Whop community. You can go check that out. It is for free. And I will show you how to set everything up. So let's get straight into n8n. And first I will show you the first 2 workflows, these 2 steps. And then we will go to Retail AI, where I will show you the prompt and the actual agent. Alright, let's get to it. So I'm in n8n. In workflows, I have called it Outbound Caller folder. Sorry about that. And we can start with scraping realtors, because that is the first thing we want to do. Scrape some data and leads. Right, now when you look at it like this, it might look a bit scary, but I will explain it to you, and it is super simple. Okay, so we can see we have a trigger node. So whenever you like to trigger this extraction of data, you just click. Then we have another node, which is HTTP request. Now for those that don't know, HTTP request is basically a way that websites communicate with each other. I would say that way. So you want to get some data from this website and send it over to this website. That is why you use HTTP request. That is what you use HTTP request for. If it is not integrated with n8n straight, like we have the Google Sheets, then you have to use the HTTP method. Okay, enough of the HTTP. Now let's get straight into it. So we can see I have everything set up, and I have this scary JSON looking thing. Now I will show you how you can get this without knowing how to code, and how I have built it without knowing anything about coding. Alright, so let me show you. We will create a test or example node that will be HTTP request, so you can see how to set this thing up. Alright, now what we need to do is open up new web browser, go to Firecrawl. Okay, I am already logged in, but normally you have like 500 free credits, so it is an open source app and it is really great. I use it often. Okay, so from here we want to go to the extract thing, and we want to try it in extract playground. Alright, once we are here, we can see a few things, but the most important is this one. What data do you want to extract? So basically here we want to describe everything we want to the LLM to describe. Sorry about that. We want to describe everything that the LLM should extract from a website or anything you want. So for us it is realtors' names, etc. So extract realtor's name or full name, phone number, and date of last sale. Dot from this website, and we will send over a website. So let me open up a realtor right here. You can do this with whatever you want. Maybe you want to scan some local businesses or recipes, whatever we want, it will scrape it. Okay, so let's go to find realtors. We'll just put some sort of city we wanna scrape. Alright, let's search it up, give it a few seconds, and we can see there is a lot of realtors coming up straight away. Okay, what we can see here is we have the name, we have the phone number, and we have the listed house. So the last date of sale or of listing. That is what we want in our cold calling. So let's copy this URL and send it back over to Firecrawl. So from this website, and we are sending over this thing. Now what we have to do is just generate parameters, and it will basically generate everything we need for us. Alright, so we have it right here. We can see the schema is here, and in the URLs we can see a bit of a change. We have this thing, I don't know what it is called, but this is what I mean. This thing was added to our URL. Now I don't want it here, but what it basically does is if we would add it, it would scrape all of the realtors pages. So like the first one, second one, third one, until it gets to 344. Now I don't have the credits for it or time for it, so let's not do that. Then let's go to the prompt, extract the full name, phone number and date of the last sale of each realtor. Ensure that the full name and phone number are captured for each entry. Now I think this is useless, so let's delete this and just keep it super simple. Most of the time with AI or with AI automations, you want to keep things as simple as possible. That is the best way. Okay, and the last thing we need to do is change this schema to JSON view. Alright, we have it here. Let's just keep it here and go to docs in Firecrawl. Now there will be a lot of jumping in between sites in this video, so I'm sorry about that, but you will just have to bear with me. Alright, from here we want to go to API references, then scroll down a bit and we can see the extract right here. Oh no, this isn't what I wanted, so let me go back. We want to be just in the documentation, we don't want to go to the API references. I made a mistake, I'm sorry about that. So example usage, you want to scroll down a bit once you are in the extract and copy this whole thing, this curl basically. Make sure you don't have it in Node or Python, because then it will not work the way we want it to work. So just copy this curl right here, don't change anything here, just send it over to N8N, and here you have a little thing, import curl. So we will paste it and send over import. Now we can see that this thing basically set up our whole HTTP request. So we have URL, this, we have the post, and then we have send headers, which is basically authorization, so bearer and your API key. Now how do you get the API key? Super simple again, you may just duplicate this. You will come to the playground, you will go to dashboard, and from here you can see your API key on the right. So you copy it, it is again for free, you send it over. Well, it is in a processing status, so we have to wait a few seconds, but you don't want to do this manually. That is why you have to change a few things. So basically I added if right here, and if JSON data or if just data is not empty, then you want to go and send it over to the waitlist. So let me try it. If it is empty, you want to go and send it over here. So what basically this does, it sends over it as a loop, waits 5 seconds I think, and tries it again. So if the data is empty and it is still processing, it will go to this if node, super simple node, and if it is false, then it will just do this. If it is true, it will go on with its things. Alright, so let's just try it again. Let's test this step, and we can see now we have all of the realtors right here. We have exactly 20 realtors, but computers count from 0, so yeah, it starts like this, 0, 1, etc, etc. And what we can see is here we have name, phone number, and date of last sale. But everything seems the same, like all of this is the same number and it came in one item. We have to change that. Why? Well, because let me give you a quick metaphor. So imagine you go to a grocery store. You most likely have some sort of a list where you have everything written. So you want to go to buy fruits, you want to go to buy bread, and you want to go to buy some meat, let's say. Now what you are not going to do is come to the store, look at the list, and go find everything straight away in one time. You know, you have to first go to the section with fruits, then to the section with bread, then to the section with meat. So it have to be like separate items in one list. Now we are sending one list with one item where there is like 50 different sections. So we have to change it, because and then we will have some problems with it, because we want to basically put it in a Google Sheet, and I will show you too in a bit. Let's just test it, and we have a node that is split node. So we have the data realtors, this data, you just drag and drop it, and we want to split it out into 20 different items like this, because we have 20 realtors, it is 20 items. Now let me show you the Google Sheet that I have created. It is the simplest thing I have probably done in my whole life. Just name, phone number, etc. So you have name, you have phone number, you have date of sale, and the status. Now, sorry about that. We want to delete this whole thing, because that's just late. Okay, and what we want to do is come back to an add-on, go to this Google Sheets, and let's test it out. Basically, let me show you how I set it up, this whole node. So you add a Google Sheet node, resource change within document, operation append a row. So basically add something in the row, realtors, hierarchy 1, and then map each column manually. So the name is JSON name. I just drag and drop everything from the split out. Make sure it is from the split out and not from here, because then it will not work. So you drag and drop it, you drag and drop it, you drag and drop it. And then, very important, a status, we always want to put uncalled. I will show you why in the next workflow, but it is super important, so make sure you put something like this in there. Alright, now let's test the step, and what we will see is it will basically send all of the data into our spreadsheet. So open this up, and we have everything in our spreadsheet. All of the names, all of the phone numbers, all of the dates of sale, and the status uncalled. Now, what would happen if we wouldn't have split it out? Well, basically, all of the names like Bill, Patricia, Melanie would be in one section. So here, there would be Bill, Patricia, Melanie, etc, etc. So everything would be in one place, and we don't want that. We want to have it like this. That is why we have to put it into 20 different items. Alright, let me come back to an add-on, and we basically have everything working. The first workflow is behind us. Now let's save it up, and let's go to another workflow. We have a trigger execute workflow at the end. So basically that executes our another workflow that starts the call. So let's come back, go to Outbound Caller folder, and we have a start call workflow. Now this is super simple again. So when executed by another workflow, then we have a node that is spreadsheet. Let me show you how it works. So Google Sheet account, get rows or one row, realtors, hierarchy 1, column, status, and uncalled. So basically what this does, it searches through the whole spreadsheet and it finds every single column that has the uncalled status. Because you will have some cold leads here and you don't want to call them again, right? So that is why we have put the uncalled status here. Alright, so you have the uncalled status. Let me just execute it. And you will see that you basically got 20 items out of it with all of the names, all of the phone numbers and the dates of last sale. So we want to send this information. I didn't want to test the whole workflow. Great. So we want to send this whole information to our AI voice agent in Retail AI. That is why we have to first get it from the spreadsheet. Alright, then the next is the update leads. So we want to update all of our leads to cold, because the AI agent will come back and try to call them again, but if we wouldn't have put it to cold, it would just call them again. You know, like he calls them like 5 times. You don't want to make them angry. So it's super simple. You basically update row, operation, realtors hierarchy 1, name for image. You can just use name, just drag and drop it. And then status, you want to change it to cold. And what will basically happen is we can come back here and everything changed to call. Alright, then the next thing is limit to 20 items per execution. Now why is this? Well, basically Retail AI has a max limit of calling with one number or one AI agent to 20 different numbers. So we cannot put 50 leads and call 50 leads straight away. We have to call 20 leads at a time. That is why I've set it up like this. So basically it is a 20 limit, 20 items limit, and after it is done, it will come back here and it will wait for 3 minutes. It will wait for 3 minutes, wait till all of the calls are ended, come back and scrape new leads which are uncalled. Okay, now let me just check if I'm recording right. Yes, because I'm recording this video on the 5th time, so I just want to make sure. Alright, then the next step is to configure the data, because basically there is some formatting that we need to do. Super simple, you just add a OpenAI node, and I have built a super simple prompt. Input the current date as now, full name, JSON, phone number, date of sale. Role, you are a data cleaning assistant. Your task is to perform 3 specific types of edits on text data. First one is change dates in the format of year, month, date, to natural language equivalents based on the current date. What I mean by this? Well, basically, if the date is yesterday, then you want to say yesterday and not something like 2024, 4th, 13th. You know, you just want to say the normal things, like you would say in a normal conversation, so it seems realistic in the call. Okay, then update phone numbers, so convert all phone numbers from the format this to the international format like this. Why? Well, basically Retail AI has to call numbers that are formatted this way and not this way. It cannot call phone numbers that are formatted this way. Then simplify full names by keeping online only the first name and removing all other parts. Example, John Doe John, only perform this transformation, do not alter any other text. So by the third thing that it does, I wanted to basically change the full names. If it has some company at the end or team name, you just want the first name, because we will be setting up a dynamic variables and sending them over to the AI agent. So we don't want Alright, then retail LM dynamic variables, username, just drag and drop the name, and last sale, just drag and drop the date of sale. Just like this. Pretty simple. Everything simple. Alright, so let's get out of there. And now let me just show you the actual retail AI and how it works. I will not test this in actual my phone call. I will not send over a phone call because I'm from Slovakia. It is in Eastern Europe and I have a USA phone number set it up in my retail AI. So basically it would cost me like $15 for 1 minute. And I'm sorry, but this video is not worth $15 right now. So yeah, let me just jump out of there. Let me go to retail AI and I will show you our agent and how I set up everything. Before, I want to warn you, it is super simple, super demo. I didn't really play around with it because I'm not gonna give you all of my sauce, right? In a free video. So let me just show you. Basically we start, hi, username, so basically the dynamic variables that we have set it up in NNN. Let me show you, you have it right here. A test for us is John and the last sale is today. So congrats on your sale, last sale. That's an awesome win. I know you weren't expecting this call, but you have 30 seconds. So by this we basically greet the customer or the person we are calling to and we congratulate him on a first sale. That is pretty great because we showed that we personalize the message and we actually care about what he does. I know you weren't expecting this call, but do you have 30 seconds? Yeah, just ask him for a permission to pitch him. User has time, then we will go, great, I'm Jenny. We basically introduce ourselves. If he doesn't have time, then we will come back later and just say bye to him and the call. So if he does say he has time, great, I'm Jenny with Amplify AI, an AI assistant by the way, and I'm calling because of your sale today. We'll work with successful realtors like yourself and help them close more deals using AI systems. But before that, could I ask you one quick question? Again, username, so for us it is John. We just ask some questions, just like in cold calling. User agrees. Out of curiosity, how are you currently managing your follow-ups and staying in touch with leads? Because we will be pitching them on some AI automation services like following up, booking appointments, etc. Then I say this whole objection handling thing that I was doing when I was cold calling myself and it worked pretty great. So let me just explain it to you. Okay, well that should be we here. We have all been there, but let me ask you a question. You have 3 main sources that move the world. Well, basically I explain like you have 3 sources that move the world, 3 energies. First is the actual energy, physical energy, then you have time, and then you have money. And what isn't good is basically doing unfair trades. Most people do it like this. They trade their time and energy for money. And you don't want to do that. So we are pitching on services that basically trade less money for more money. Isn't that a fair deal? I think it is. That is where our AI steps in. So yeah, if you like some AI automation, you want me to build it for you, then just hit me up and I will help you make more money. And save some time. Okay, but let's get back to the cold calling. So first one is energy, the second one is time, and the third one is money. Do you know what I mean? User says yes. Okay, great. So based on what you said, you are potentially trading 2 sources for 1. Not really a fair deal, because they are messaging and following up with the leads themselves. Alright, user agrees. Well, that's where our AI steps in. It follows up 24/7, qualifies leads, and even books appointments, so you can only focus on selling. Would you be interested in something like this? If user agrees, lucky for you, we are hosting a short free masterclass with our CEO. Basically, I pitch him on this masterclass and then we just perfect. Let me book you right in and we collect his email. Afterwards, it will start a tool that will again trigger something and then I will show you how I set it up, this whole thing straight away. So let me go to functions on your left and here I have created reservation. You will normally edit, but I'm just gonna edit it. So name is create reservation, description, use this tool to reserve place for the caller in Google Meet Masterclass, extract his email. Alright, then URL, you basically put your webhook URL in here. Let me show you how to set it up. Let me save this, come back to personal and then masterclass booking, add node, webhook, you add webhook and you copy this. Now I already have one, so I'm not gonna put another one. So you basically copy this and we have sent it over to our retail right here. Then the last thing you have to set up is basically the information, it creates an email specifically for the user that is basically a reminder or confirmation where we thank him and that we are thrilled to confirm his reservation for our upcoming AI Masterclass. You send over the Google Meet, etc., etc. So write a professional and friendly confirmation email to user who has just reserved a spot in our upcoming AI Masterclass through an AI conversation. Acknowledge their successful reservation, thank them for signing up, and provide the details of the Masterclass including the date, 14th of May, time, and Google Meet link. Now, a bit of a bother, you have to put these things manually, because there is no Google Meet trigger or thing like that, so you have to put it manually, or you can just put some sort of a spreadsheet and automate it. it this way. Now we want to change the JSON text to email body, send it over, test this step, go back to email, and we have the Google Meet link in here now. So yeah, it is working now, but I'm sorry about it. Sometimes this happens. So yeah. Okay, now the next thing you want to probably do is send it over to some execution. So execute sub workflow, and you want to do some automation with the email or all sorts of stuff that you can do. In my another video tomorrow, or when I will have time, I will show you how to create a really great automation with the outbound calling. So we basically call them 8 hours before the meeting, so we remind them and make sure that they are coming. Alright, but now you know how to stop doing the cold calling and make AI do it for you. So have a great day. Don't forget to check out the Whop community, because you have all of these templates yourself there, so you don't have to set it up yourself. And yeah, I want to say thank you for watching till now. I know sometimes I am confusing with my English and I make a few mistakes, but I'm trying to help you guys, and I really appreciate you watching till now. Have a great day.